Alright YouTube, today I'm going to show you how to store your generator. Now down here in the south we've had more hurricanes than I care to count this year. We have had 7 landfalls here in the state of Louisiana. The last one being last week, where I was out of power for 4.5 weeks. Thankfully it is now cold. For us it's in the 60s. It was in the 40s a couple days ago. But hopefully, cross my fingers here, we're done with hurricanes this year. So I'm going to show you how to put this thing away so when you get a hurricane next year, it'll start. First thing we're going to do is we're going to change the oil. You can check your oil here. Most of the time they will have instructions on how to check your oil, how much it's supposed to have, and how to change it. This one tells you how to check it and how much it should have. Doesn't tell you how to change it. There's 2 ways you can do it on these. One, you can pull the drain / fill, pull it out, tip it on its side, let it dump out. The second, I'll show you. A little crazy going on here. See silver plug right here? That's the drain. You can pop that out, let the oil drain out. You'll do that with the engine warm. Let the oil run out, close things back up, then refill it. Most of the time you're going to want to use 10W30 oil. The capacity is usually just under a quart for these, but they use all different engine sizes on these, so don't quote that. Go by what your instructions say, or with an on-level ground. This one specifically, it wants you to fill it to the edge. Hondas will actually have a little dipstick on it that'll show you where they want the oil level to be. So just add a little bit, check it, add a little, check it. Every time you start it, check your oil, that way you don't kill it. Now we get to the whole getting things ready for sitting. You want to have clean oil, that way that's taken care of, you know it's going to be good. Clean air filter, make sure that's taken care of and good. The very least you can do is shut off your fuel and run the generator till it runs out of gas. That's your, at least you can do that. That's the easiest thing you can do, most simple. It'll give it a fighting chance. Second easiest thing you can do, turn off your fuel here, disconnect the fuel line from the carburetor, run it until it quits, and just leave it like that. That'll help a little better than just running it dry. The best thing you can do, in my opinion, is you come over here to the carburetor. You see these little screws right here? This one is to drain it. It's a 10mm. It's really simple. You loosen it till it stops dripping, spray a little WD-40 in there, tighten it back up. Super easy. I'll show you what that saves you from. Because say we don't get a storm again until, you know, late September. That means the thing would have sat almost a whole year without anything. No attention. This is a carburetor, just like on that generator. Not from that generator, but exactly the same. This is one of the screws I was showing you. See all the rust and corrosion on it? Right here. Rust and corrosion. There goes the gasket. See the corrosion in the bottom of the bowl? You go to start it up, it's going to be all clogged up. It's not going to want to run. Or it'll start and then die. So that's what's saving you from that. You can put some Sta-Bil in the tank. That'll help. Typically what I will do is leave the tank about halfway or a quarter full. Put a little bit of Sta-Bil in it. I have the Lucas variety of it. And when I go to start it back up, I top it off with fresh gas. 93 octane, best stuff they have, non-ethanol. You put ethanol in it, it makes water, it kills these things. And the next thing you do is try and keep it indoors. Mine is about 5 years old now, and it still looks brand new because I keep it indoors. You leave it outside, it's a higher chance of water getting into it and damaging it, or critters getting in there and tearing things up. We don't have so much of a mice problem down here in the south, but ants, You know, I mean, you do sometimes get rats, squirrels definitely get in there and chew things up. Plus the generator unit itself over here, you want to stay dry. That's really about it to get one of these to work. Now I'll tell you how to fix it if it doesn't work. This isn't going to help you if your power's out. You probably can't watch this, but we'll go through the basics. First thing you want to do, make sure your fuel's on, make sure your switch is on. Check that you have fuel. It's very simple. You can give it a jiggle here for the slosh. You'll come over to the carburetor, crack that drain bolt loose that I was showing you, and see if fuel starts dribbling out. Give it a sniff, gentle. See if it smells like gas or if it smells kind of like paint. Smells like spray paint, it's no good. Drain all the gas out, put fresh gas in it. If it comes out and it's kind of orange, or it's like kind of just nasty looking, like some kind of clear and then some orange mixed together, that'll be water. Drain it all out. Try and spray some carb clean up in there, because there's a very good chance that things are all gummed up and you're going to need another carburetor. Something I can tell you, they're cheap, really cheap. Buy a brand new carburetor off of eBay for the model of your engine. This is a Briggs & Stratton carburetor. That's a Honda engine. But like say this one. This is the kind of carburetor that fits on that one. Line it up. Get the carburetor that fits your engine, the same one. Have a spare. That way next year you go to start the thing up and you left gas in it, or you didn't drain it out all the way or something like that. You can take the carburetor that's all nasty, chuck it, put a brand new one on there. Start it up, fresh gas, it'll run. And then you have peace of mind knowing, hey, if my generator doesn't start, I can slap this on there and it'll be good. Keep a spare spark plug too, that'll help you. They don't typically wear out in these very quick, but it's a chance, you know. You're typically not going to have to worry about an air filter unless it's been left outside and it got nasty. Generator unit, usually if those don't work, there's not much you can do for them. There's a few people that know how to kind of rig them to make them work again, but usually something has internally failed, corrosion has gotten to it, or the brushes have wore out. A lot of these do work with brushes. Yeah, that's about it. If you have a problem with your fuel filters getting clogged with rust, you've got water in your tank, the best thing you can try and do is wash it. Take the tank off, drain it out, rinse it with a hose. You can do is put some simple green in there, and I typically like to do is get some relatively small BBs, like for a pellet gun, 177 BBs. Put, you know, like a good handful of them in there with some WD-40. Shake it around and try and get all the loose rust out. Rinse it out a few times with the simple green, and then take and put a whole bunch of WD-40 in there with a couple shop rags. Put them in there. Put an air hose in it and where they go all around and suck up all the water. Look in there with a flashlight and see if you see any water. Put more WD-40 in there if you want to, and then you can reuse it again instead of having to replace it unless it leaks. But that's about all I got to tell you about a generator. Hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe I answered some questions. If you have a question, throw it down below. I'm usually very quick to answer stuff. And have an awesome day.